Let me tell you about the ZWO Seestar S50. You've seen it, right? The sleek, futuristic little telescope that's all over the internet. It promises the stars, literally. And of course, it delivers those stunning images of galaxies, nebula, and star clusters that make you think, wow, I'll be the next Hubble. So I thought, I've got to get my hands on one of these. But being the responsible amateur astronomer I am, I did my research first. I started with YouTube. It's a rabbit hole, really. Video after video of astrophotographers panning across breathtaking photos. Orion's nebula in glorious technicolor, the Andromeda galaxy spiraling majestically, and the Pleiades glowing like cosmic jewels. Every influencer had a dreamy tagline: "See the universe from your backyard." Well, sign me up. Then I found myself in the forums. That's where the reality started peeking through. People weren't just casually snapping these images like selfies. No, they were throwing around words like stacking, light frames, and calibration. Someone even mentioned bias frames, which ironically I didn't realize I had. My bias was assuming the Seestar would do all the work for me. Still, I thought, it can't be that hard, right? So armed with optimism, I clicked buy now. A couple days later, there it was on my doorstep, a box full of hopes and dreams. Unboxing it was magical. It looked sleek and ready to unlock the mysteries of the cosmos. That night, I eagerly set it up in my backyard, pointed at the Orion Nebula, and hit the app's big, enticing capture button. And drumroll, the first image popped up. Let's just say it wasn't what I expected. No brilliant colors, no crisp detail, just a faint smudge of light surrounded by a sea of digital noise. My initial reaction was, did I get a defective one? Back to the forums I went, and that's when the truth hit me. Those jaw-dropping images I'd been drooling over weren't the product of a single click. They were the result of hours of 10-second exposures, meticulously stacked, stretched, and processed under software like Photoshop, PixInsight, or something called Deep Sky Stacker. That's right, my telescope wasn't broken, my expectations were. I spent the next few nights diving into this mysterious world of astrophotography. Stacking is where you take dozens, sometimes hundreds or even thousands of exposures and layer them to bring out the faint details of celestial objects. Then you tweak, stretch, and adjust until the image looks like it belongs in a science museum. And let me tell you, processing astrophotos, it's an art form. It's also the digital equivalent of turning on your oven light every 2 minutes to check if the cookies are done. You're tweaking levels, cursing at gradients, and wondering why your nebula looks like a cosmic Rorschach test. But then something magical happens. After all the stacking and stretching, you start to see it. The nebula comes alive. Those faint smudges transform into glowing clouds of gas and light. It's like uncovering a hidden masterpiece, and you suddenly understand why so many people fall in love with astrophotography. Now, let me pause here for an important note. This story isn't meant to discourage anyone from trying the Seestar, or any telescope for that matter. Quite the opposite. The point is to encourage you to have realistic expectations. We love our Seestar. It's opened up a whole new world for us. Every moment we spend with it, whether outside imaging under the stars or inside learning new skills in post-processing, has been an absolute joy. Yes, there's a learning curve, and yes, it takes time and patience, but the process, the challenge, is part of what makes it so rewarding. So what's the reality of the ZWO Seestar S50? It's not a magic wand for instant space art. It's a tool, a gateway to understand the cosmos, and a crash course in patience, perseverance, and Photoshop. And here's the kicker. While the final images are fantastic, the real joy comes from the journey. Setting up under a starry sky, learning something new, and realizing you're looking at the same stars that have fascinated humanity for millennia. So to anyone out there considering the Seestar, know this. The universe doesn't give up its secrets easily, but when it does, it's more rewarding than any instant download.